Greetings YouTube and welcome to my latest weapons build. We have this, which is a golf ball. Well, it's supposed to be a golf ball. It's got a flat bottom. It's got this divot, and it's got a very tiny, what appears to be potentially threaded hole at the bottom. I don't really care. I'm not going to be using it for anything. And it's a weird structure because some of this is definitely, this is not steel, but some of it is steel. And if I bring the magnet in like this, I can feel it. So there could be a magnet in there, because the way the feeling I'm getting is that there's something in there resisting against me. So drilling this is going to be intriguing, and I don't know what I'm going to hit. We're going to have to find that out once I get in there. Because what I want to do is I want to drill a 1/2-inch hole through here, and I want to use this piece of threaded rod to attach this with this to this. This is a piece of steel tubing. I paid $5 for this at a thrift shop, but there was two pieces of it, or there is two pieces of it. One goes inside here. I think originally it may have been like a curtain rod or something, but there was no springs, there was no attachments on the end. It was just two pieces of steel tubing, and for $5 for two pieces of steel tubing, this is 38 inches long, so it's a meter worth of steel tubing, and I still got the smaller diameter kicking around for other projects. I can't go wrong for that, man. So I'm going to take this off, obviously, and I'm going to be using 18 inches of this, because I think 18 inches of this is a nice ratio as far as I like the diameter of that to this object. And 18 inches should do a good job. I'm going to drill a 1/2-inch hole through here, and that's going to come out there. And I'm going to be using the same method I used on the Wasteland Scepter, which is where I used, it was an aluminum apple. It was another tchotchke of some variety, and I turned that into the striking head of the Wasteland Scepter, and I came up with a way of holding it with a steel plate holding downward like this, so I could then put a drill bit through here, and that keeps it from moving. I think I'm going to have to put a wooden block under this thing, because I think that this is too close to the same diameter as the hole in my drill press plate. I'll have to check and see, because I don't want this to slip on me. I'd rather sacrifice a bit of wood and just be able to go like this and come out the other side. And then this will end up being the top, and there will be a nut here, because I kind of like the scale of that like that. That's going to be the nut on the top, and I will put a piece of threaded rod in here. I'll figure out how long I want it to be, because I'm probably going to put a point on this for fun. And I will then drill a cross hole through this and the threaded rod, pull that together with a 1/4-inch bolt and a couple of cap nuts just for looks, and I will put another cross piece of 1/4-inch threaded rod, as well as a couple of cap nuts on the end, so that it acts as a stop. Though this is only 1/2-inch. This is only a little bit more than 1/2 inch. It's not quite 3/4, I don't think. I'm probably going to. I may wrap this. I can't say probably. I may wrap this with some cord. We'll see how I like the feel of it when I'm finished. And I haven't decided whether we'll have a butt spike or not. It may have a butt spike, because I like butt spikes, and if it does, I'll do the opposite idea on the other side, which is I'll use a nut like this directly on the piece of threaded rod staying out the bottom to pull the whole thing together, because I really have discovered that I like the way that works. It works very well. It creates a very secure union, and it is very simple. It's just, a cross bolt, threaded rod, tube, you're done. And it works very efficiently. So the first thing I'm going to need to do, besides cleaning this thing off, is get this cut down to 18 inches, then set the rig up for drilling this, and I will show you that when I get to that stage, because I don't really think you need to see what it looks like to cut a piece of tubing into 18-inch lengths. It's just, chops up. Or in this case, I'll probably use my angle grinder, just whoosh, and you're done. This stuff is cuts like butter when it comes to my angle grinder. And if I do end up having to grind anything today, I will definitely be using my hand guard, because I recommend having a hand guard, because otherwise you end up with something that looks like that right in the back of my hand. That red spot, that's a burn scar, and maybe permanent, I'm not sure. But I got that because I wasn't wearing something that would definitely protect the back of my hand from sparks, because the types of work gloves I wear do not protect me from sparks. Protect my fingers, don't protect the back of my hand. Alright, so next shot up should be this thing set up in the drill press and getting ready to be drilled. So here we have the rig set up. This is a steel plate. I picked it up at an estate sale years ago. It came with these two holes as well as a number of other holes already in it. I put this hole here myself so that I could then do this with it. Wooden block underneath it to give the support to the flat bottom. And I've already got lubrication in the hole. So let's see what happens when I try drilling this. Don't know how well it's going to go. Side, wherever the heck it is, the hollow, right down on the bottom. This is a lot less stable than I'm happy with. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to disassemble this whole rig, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to see if I can drill it from the top side and have a better chance of getting it where I want it, because at the moment I'm getting a lot of shimmy in here I don't like. So okay, you're going to jump cut in a minute and we'll have you set up so you can see what it looks like once I've got it turned over. Alrighty, time for step 2. I now have it turned over and I've got a drill mark in the middle. I put a little bit of lube in there. Bottom section was a little bit thicker than I thought it was going to be. Well, I guess that makes sense. If it was supposed to be some kind of either a candle holder or maybe a photo stand. I don't know what the heck it was supposed to be. When I got it, it was like in new condition, so I don't think it was ever used for anything. Alright, now that I've got this done, I'm going to take it out, wipe it off, clean it up, make sure it fits through the shaft fits through there, and then we're going to start working on getting the lengths of threaded rod cut, as well as begin to drill the shaft. Drilling the threaded rod's always a pain in the butt. That's something that I never enjoy, so I may wrap that with blue painter's tape and center it and then drill it while it's already in the shaft. That way I'm more likely to get it to be exactly where I want it to be. So I'd really like to get the hole through the center of the threaded rod if I can. And getting a hole through a center of a threaded rod is a pain in the butt because the drill bit wants to walk off those grooves if you just try drilling the threaded rod without any additional support. Like if I just put my V-block in there and try drilling it, it's just gonna walk on me and it's not gonna be fun. So next shot will probably be me setting this up so I can show you how I do things with my V-block. Alrighty, so I've got everything in place. This is going to be the point that actually holds the head in place, and I've already put it in place and jammed that in there with some blue painter's tape. So now I'm going to turn the drill on. Sorry for my head. Occasionally it will bind on the way out of a tube. That's been my experience. Get this thing cleaned off a little. And there we go. And it's really, really darn close to being exactly in the middle, which makes me very happy. Now it looks good in the tubing. I think I might have pulled this threaded rod ever so slightly to the side, but not enough that I'm going to friggin' worry about it. Because when I get that in there, you're never going to notice it at all. Yeah. As they say, it all comes out in the wash. Okay, so now I am going to put a bolt in there just to hold everything in line while I can work on this end. You don't need to see that twice. I need to grind a striking point on the other end because I've decided I am going to put a striking point on it, and then I'm going to have to do the same thing on that I just did, but on this end. So, yep. And then the next step after that will be final assembly. And these were going to stay right where they are. I'm not going to definitely move them because, again, everything's lined up the way I want them. And here we have the finished mace. Now, like I said, as said many times before, it wouldn't be me if there wasn't a mistake. I drilled this beautifully. It went smoothly. It was lovely. You guys watched me do it. I screwed this end up so bad. I mean, I screwed up bad. I screwed up enough that I actually injured my my V channel block. So yeah, not real happy about this. It still works as a V channel. Of course, I've already filed it down. But yeah, that's how much I screwed up. I don't know how I went so far off the rails, but I went off the rails. So I ended up having to just cut this off because I'm not going to redo the entire striking point I made, and it came out really nice. I was kind of frustrated. It came out well, and now it's garbage. So I've already tossed it because I was angry. But so I ended up drilling a second hole much more carefully and cut it off, and in fact part of the threaded rod is still in there because I didn't want to make it too short. Put this in there, and it still didn't end exactly in the middle. Gods, do I wish I owned a mill. Make my life so much easier if I had a mill. Even if it was like a grizzly, I'd probably be able to do a hell of a lot more. But I don't even know how I'd get one into this basement. The stairs down to this basement are terrifying. I was very cautious walking down those stairs. They're old granite and uneven. But here is the finished mace. Or, as I'm going to call it, and I'm sure some of you who have probably already figured out what I'm going to call this, I'd like to introduce you to the golf club. Yes, folks, I went there. So we have a striking head, which is primarily aluminum. There is a magnet in here. I don't know what the magnet was originally for, but it's primarily aluminum. It's got a nice weight to it. I get a nice little point on there, and I use the same method I normally do with this. I just put my angle grinder here so the disc is horizontal, but put the half-inch rod into the drill, and then spin it on the disc until you get a nice point. It's fast and it is quite efficient. And I did a fairly sharp point on this one because I kind of like the look on it. And then this is the cross bolt, which is holding this in place, and then when I tighten it, it just pulls everything together. And because of the depression here, it's a nice chamfer. Everything just snugged up really well. And fortunately, I was able to center the holes quite well, both on the bottom, which was easy because there was a hole for me to work with, and on this side, I got it almost dead center. So between the two of them, it looks just beautiful. I am very happy with this design. I think that's aluminum. It could be pot metal, but I'm not sure. The bottom of it, actually the bottom section here was like a 1/4 inch thick. So that's actually got a hunk of metal in there. So, which kind of makes sense. You want to put a little bit more weight in there if this is supposed to be like, I don't know, a picture holder or a candlestick, or I don't know, have any idea what this thing was originally. It's just a tchotchke I picked up. I think I paid like $3 for it or something like that. So, cheap tubing, cheap striking head. This threaded rod was, can't remember if this is free or not. I think I may have used all my free half-inch threaded rod up, but again, it was cheap. I picked it up at an estate sale. And in fact, I have been organizing myself a little bit more. In fact, you see these 3 cardboard boxes. These had things in them that I have now put into plastic totes, as well as these, which is my new storage system. This one's empty. This has just got a couple of boxes of screws that don't have a home yet. But these are loose fasteners, some of which are just these shorter pieces of threaded rod, and some of which are bolts and things like that. And this one here is a collection of nuts, bolts, and like this one, this bag right here is like they were together. And this was, I got this for a song. I picked up, I think it was this box here. I picked up an entire box from somebody at a yard sale for $10. And it's so many things in that I just use all the time. You know, threaded rods and nuts and bolts and fasteners, as well as 3 hydraulic hose connectors, which are incredibly expensive. I have no use for them. I may sell them. I don't know, but they're. I'm just like, this guy had no idea. I guess he was in the trades of some kind, and he was getting rid of some stuff he didn't need. Oh, his loss is my gain. Yep, real happy with this. This came out nice. Nice little wrap on there. Nothing all that special. Just some safety orange, because why not safety orange? It's got a good feel to it. Not too heavy, not too good light mace. You don't have to worry about edge alignment with this puppy. But if you need to, you can make a thrust. Though it's not going to go through anything, heavy. But it will definitely. If you go for somebody's face or something, they're going to flinch, and that's the goal. If you can distract your opponent, you're probably going to win. So that is my current project. I'm quite happy with the golf club. I know it's corny as all hell, and I apologize, but gods, I do love a good pun. My friend Amy is going to be really, really annoyed with me. So thanks for being here, folks. I hope that you had a good time. I'm now going to take some stills for this video as well as for my Instagram and my DeviantArt. You should go to my DeviantArt, in fact, because DeviantArt is where I house the permanent stills of all my projects. You should also follow me on Instagram because I post bargains, I post salvage I find, I sometimes post sneak previews, and of course I post cute cat pictures, and who doesn't need cute cat pictures? Okay, folks, thanks for being here. I hope that you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you come back for the next one.